everybody.
Hi.
Are you starting from where? Is this a restart?
It never happened. That other thing.
That other thing never happened?
No.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Oh, no. That was the real beginning.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, hi.
Okay. Hi. You can see we're in full form today.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got my winter sweater on.
Uh-huh. I was going to wear my Marled Mania. The wind is chilly.
Yeah. So I'm Kim.
And I'm Jennifer.
And we're the girls that run the Fleece and Harmony Woolen Mill in
Yeah.
Belfast, PEI.
Yeah.
Prince Edward Island.
Yes.
So here
Which
we
is
are.
in Canada. Welcome to Canada.
Canada. Bienvenue. Bienvenue. Welcome to Canada.
I'm having coffee today. Apologies.
Yeah. Are you sure you need it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So this is episode number 38B. And we've just discussed and figured we're just going to renumber them because what's the B? The B was supposed to be a short half-hour check-in. And they've become full episodes.
Yeah. So no more Bs.
Yeah. So are you going to go back and renumber?
I'm just going to quickly change the numbers on them,
Oh,
Change
okay.
the titles.
Okay.
Who knows what we're up to now? I
Yeah.
have no concept. I
don't
don't
know.
remember when the Bs started.
Right.
34?
I don't know. 34B. Yeah, because it was a
or
bra size.
33B or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a bra size, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was the intro.
Well done.
And the farm update.
Trying
Not
to
really much.
get video of Nadia getting into the feeder, which if you think her getting out was impressive,
Yes.
I mean, then she's even below it. And
Right.
she doesn't. Now you would think if you were a shepherd and you had our flock for several years that she was going in through the rails.
Yes.
And then just choosing to jump out.
Yeah.
But no, she actually jumps from the ground up over the top into it as well.
Yeah. And she
I
has
didn't
to
know
find
that.
a spot. I see
Yeah.
her. She's checking out where the spots
Really
are.
something.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get that, but that's not easy because usually she's in it when
She's
we're
a
there already.
gymnastic sheep.
Yeah. Good girl, Nadia.
It was really funny because it's actually a beautiful day now. Earlier today it was kind of gloomy, but it was kind of warming up a little bit. And when Ken and I were eating breakfast, we could see the sheep were jumping and their legs were going out and they were chasing all the way down to the end of the field and then all the way back. They get really frisky this time of year. Yeah.
And what you probably don't realize is in the wintertime, if you go down to make your coffee and you turn the lights on, they start yanging at you through the window.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've mentioned that. They beg like cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to make your coffee in the dark so the sheep don't know you're up.
Yes, and we have two, we have a ram and a wether, which is what they call a castrated ram. So we have two of Domino and Wayne Newton that are they've got their own little apartment. Every morning, like clockwork, Domino starts screaming for his breakfast. And trust me, Domino maybe should be renamed Fats Domino. Because he's not skinny.
He's the fattest sheep ever.
Yes. And when our shearer was here, she says, "Oh my God!" She said, I think he weighs like over 200 pounds." She said, "I think he weighs over 300 pounds. He's huge. He's huge." Anyway, he calls for his breakfast.
Yeah, he can feel a rib showing.
Yeah, he's afraid of the
It's
hollows.
urgent.
That's what Dad used to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I can feel the hollows.
Not hollow.
Yeah, it wasn't hollow.
Far from hollow. All right.
So, me first.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't have. Oh, you have an FO. This doesn't count as a whip. You've got it under whips. It's done. Okay,
Yeah,
FO
it's done.
first. Go.
So
pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It feels really, really nice. This is Hinterland.
It's
by
a
Jennifer
beautiful
Steingass.
yarn, yeah.
Yeah, by Jennifer Steingass. And it's silky.
Yeah.
Feels silky.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know.
We're just a couple of gals shearing local sheep. Trying to make it an acceptable yarn, and somehow it came out amazing.
Yeah. That's an inside joke. I don't know if we ever mentioned that in previous episodes or not.
But
Anyway,
it's really nice.
Yeah. So it's done. I guess we'll have pictures.
Yeah.
That show the
maybe.
full thing.
I love it.
Yeah. So the sleeves came out a little bit longer.
I think they look cozy.
Yeah, it's really nice. And because they're open, it's not, they're not close.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's absolutely fine. And the color work all turned out. The sizing adjustments that we had to do through the bust all turned out. The waist shaping looks good. I'm super happy with it. except for one thing.
Okay.
And I don't know, you couldn't do anything differently. So the pattern was super fun to knit, really well written. It's the top-down yoke thing, which seems to be a theme going on. We talked about it the last episode as well. And it's really tricky when you have broad shoulders and you love this generous, beautiful pattern of the yoke. And so what happens is when you split for the sleeves, you split for the sleeves down at the bottom of the yoke. And, you know, if I lift my arms up, the whole thing goes up.
Unlike a set-in sleeve.
Or a raglan.
I don't know what this counts as.
Yeah. So that's
Raglan.
a set-in sleeve.
Is it?
No, it's a set-in sleeve.
Looks sewn together. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't move.
So that's the only thing. It's very comfortable. It's not that it's... I was trying to explain to my mother what the situation was, what it looks like. And I said it's like when you have a pair of pantyhose that are too short and they go... And your legs go...
Oh.
Do people remember that? When people used to wear pantyhose? That was the worst.
Do people not wear pantyhose?
I don't think they wear... Or tights. I guess you wear tights now. Hardly anybody wears pantyhose,
There's still
do they?
people wearing pantyhose.
Hardly. Is there?
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, if you wear pantyhose or if you've got short tights, then you know what we're talking about. Like it's never happened to you?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for fun.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like that.
Oh, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like that. Important to clarify. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that is kind of the thing. It just is slightly restricting to your movement. And honestly, if I had the mind to try to figure out how you would do like proper...
Well, you can't because you're right. Without making the pattern shorter,
Right.
there's no way to tuck that up into your armpit and allow it to split here.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing you can do. And, you know, part of the beauty of this pattern is how generous that yoke is. So you're kind of stuck. It's not uncomfortable, though. So at least I was worried that I wouldn't even...
I just can't believe how soft it is.
I know. It's silky.
And we've been selling lots of SELKIRK worsted, but if you all could feel this...
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to have a sweater out of this, it's absolutely
Ken's now
luxurious.
on me every single day.
I can't tell you how nice it is.
Yeah.
And I'm always surprised, again, that the 2-ply looks so smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I alternated all the way through because now it's easy because of the helical knit.
Yeah.
Helical knitting. So that's it. So I'm really happy.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And
Very nice.
like I said, it was fun to knit too.
Yeah,
So.
and that's a good project for you because it didn't take 8 months. Like, I mean, it was a good amount of time.
Unlike the next thing I'm going to show.
Ow.
I will
Oh, 8 years. Yeah. Okay, well, you're not going to show that now.
Okay.
I'm going to do my Flatrock.
So do you want me to do Cornwallis first or do you want to do
I'll just
Flatrock?
do my little thing. It'll take 2 minutes and then you can let her rip.
Okay.
All right, so I did. So it was 2.5 inches. Now it's 4.
You double.
What just flew across the lawn?
That was a big crow.
Wildlife. Okay.
Yeah. You took a bath in the puddle
Okay.
there first.
So what can I say? It's now 4 inches, and I'm now knitting it without the pattern at all because I like to live on the edge, and I did it at knit night.
Right.
And I didn't make a mistake.
Are you sure?
Yep. Perfectly
What about
sure.
that right there?
No,
Oh,
shut
just
up. It is not. I stab you with a knitting needle. Anyway, that's kind of this is what you're going to be seeing in various lengths for the next few weeks, I think.
So I think I'll go back to the episodes where I was being teased about my Joe Bat's arm.
If I don't get this done in still half the time that it took you to knit that, there's something seriously wrong. Even with my, what would you call it? The break I took.
Your mojo.
Well, no, like my
missing
sabbatical.
Mojo? Your sabbatical.
Even with my month-long sabbatical, I'm still going to be done way ahead.
Okay.
Seriously.
When did you start it?
Oh, I don't know. March. I'm not that late. It was only due April 22nd or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long. It just seems like it.
All
I
right.
don't know. Anyway, that's my thing. That's what I'm doing. This is what I'm knitting.
Yeah.
I still do want to knit that Kate Davies hat, the Taradell that I
Yes.
talked about ages ago, and I haven't. And you know what's stopping me is it's got a provisional cast on
Oh, well, that's
with the
not.
crochet hook, and I just can never remember how to do it, so I have to look up a video. So
Yeah.
I might actually start that in
Yeah.
the meantime. I might do a couple little things in with this.
I noticed the simple ribbed knit night scarf is over in a pile in the corner. Literally over in a pile in the corner.
I don't need that anymore.
Okay. Okay.
I've moved on.
Okay, great. It's really balled up.
There are far, far more worthy projects for me to spend my time on.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. That's a good decision, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So CORNWALLIS is moving along pretty quickly.
In the two extremes.
What?
Oh gosh, it's tangled around the microphone.
Oh.
Oi!
Hey.
Ow!
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right.
Good, it's only 2 colors so far.
Yeah. So
Fun! Like, look at how fun this is so fast.
I know. Look at it. I've got an inch and a half left before I start doing this shaping for the raglan sleeves. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is this top down?
No. It's bottom up. But it's rolled up because it's...
Oh, okay.
See,
I was going to say, how can there be an
do
inch
it
and a
11
half left?
You do 11 inches.
Well, how's the bottom finished?
That's it.
Ah!
So, that's my story I'm going to tell today. People, if you're designing patterns...
Well, maybe cotton presses out like super flat.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. And I thought I would give it another try. I did my very, very best even edge on my cast on to make sure that it looked beautiful. And I even backed it out a little bit because I had one that was a little bit loopy. I can't stand this rolled up edge for the bottom of the sweater. So
can you throw an I-cord on there?
I can do an I-cord, but I think what I'm going to do, because it's cotton and there's no shaping on it, so it's just going to be straight sided.
Like a tunic almost.
Yeah, so I'm going to take out the cast on or pick up stitches.
Yeah, okay.
And somebody at Knit Night told me how to do it.
Where was that?
Sheila at Knit Night said that you go 2 rows up from your cast on. I'll use like the mini cable needles, the fine ones, and I'm going to go 2 rows up. Then I pick out your cast on, and then I just knit down, and I'm going to do one of those folded over hems.
I love those.
I love those too.
Yeah.
And that'll be really nice, like a nice solid hem.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. Because I don't want to do rib.
Even this has ribbing on it.
Yeah, I don't want to do rib.
It's a cotton sweater and it's commercial.
Yeah. I don't want to do rib. I definitely don't want to leave it like this. I won't be happy.
So when you pick out a cast on backwards, though, you're actually going to have to pick it.
I don't know what's going to happen.
It doesn't unravel, I don't think.
But it's not a sticky yarn. So
no, but I think you have to pick out each one.
Maybe.
It won't.
Yeah. Okay. I don't care. Because I love the sweater. It's gonna be yeah.
What a shame. But I still, are you sure? I mean, he's pretty experienced.
So what he's done is you do a really small needle size and you do the first row of stockinette. And then I think your roll is only supposed to be like that.
So it's like intentional. He doesn't think you want it flat.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's so...
Sorry, Martin.
Yeah, so either put an I-cord on it.
Okay.
Or do a proper hem. That's what I'm saying.
You're going right. I'm just thinking it's just a difference in taste. Martin's an excellent designer.
He is an excellent designer, and he designed a beautiful sweater. But this is a style that I know is popular because the last 3 sweaters...
it's just not for us.
Yeah, so the last 3 sweaters that I've knit have had this edge on it.
What was the third one? Emma, this, and...
And, no, this has it on the sleeve.
Okay. Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah.
I've never had that. Well, Jennifer Beale would never do that. Maybe she would. I don't know.
Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. And this is the back, so I'll do it in the back.
Just to be, sorry, I don't want to harp on this, but just to be clear, what might happen when you blocked it is that it would just be a little tiny sausage that.
I think that that's what's intended.
Okay. Which is fine, but why, kind of?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because as you get hot and sweaty, it probably continues to roll. Yeah. Like as you steam it with your body heat. I don't know. It seems unstable.
Yeah. And, it's a sewn up sweater, so it's in pieces. So there's lots of structure.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, there's been a lot of thought put into, making it, look great. And I just don't... I'm too uptight to be that casual.
Okay.
To be honest, let's be honest. It might be just rolling up those four, which is really cute actually.
It's cute.
I could do the I cord too. That was the other option. Add an I cord, but I like that. I don't know what you call that turned hem.
Yes.
And then you do the 3
So
needle.
double, yeah.
Yeah, that's
nice.
I like
yeah.
it. No, I won't do a big one.
Right.
Just a small one.
So this is Sheila, who also helps everybody with their sourdough.
Yeah.
She's a wealth of information. Sheila at Knit Night. Thank you, Sheila.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, people have been asking me about knitting with this cotton yarn, and I said this in the last episode that I've only knit with one really bad cotton yarn, so this has been delightful. Or I might have said that at Knit Night, I don't know. Anyway, the only thing that you need to be careful of with cotton is that this is knit and purl, obviously, because it's stockinette, is that you need to watch your tension. And I do have a few little...
Yours looks pretty perfect, actually.
Well...
Honestly.
It's not bad, but there is a few little places where I must have came to a exciting part of the movie.
Okay, well, you're really... No wonder I don't like you looking at my knitting.
Anyway, it's pretty good.
And it's pretty stunning overall. Love it.
You know what I really like is that we're not used to seeing such definition.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's a nice break. Like you can just see here, the halo, and then this is like...
Yeah, it's so crisp and just every
and
row.
Crisp is what you want for summer. I mean,
and for cotton.
Yeah,
so
this is cotton.
Anyway,
I
love
this.
it.
This is
this has all just been straight stockinette on stripes. It's like
I need to do a project like that.
Yeah, it's great, really great. So that's the story on Cornwallis. So I'm gonna say right now that because as this project goes forward, I'm assuming that people are going to want to knit it because I think it's a really nice pattern.
It's the summer sweater for
for even though it was like
for 2020
the last year's pattern for Rowan,
really
but
nice,
it's really nice,
yeah.
Classic.
Yeah,
the white yarn is not in stock. We have a little bit of the white yarn in stock right now, but it is coming in.
Okay,
it's literally on the next boat.
Okay.
So
this
it'll be
thing
here.
Is never very reassuring for me.
It'll be here at the end of the month.
Okay.
And we really get excellent service from the distributor of Rowan here in Canada, and they will be back in stock.
Okay.
So even if you want, I don't know if we should put inventory in because I know for sure it's coming.
Okay, well, I'll put it in stock, what we've ordered, and I'll put in the list, in the descriction, what the wait time will be.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
probably no one else has it either. I mean, if it's back ordered, it's...
Yeah. Anyway.
Or it's not back ordered, it's just a little bit late.
Well, we started ordering it, and they ran right out.
Yeah. It's all because of us.
Yeah, no, but it's coming for sure.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I know
that it's
coming.
Beautiful yarn.
Yes, it is.
Like if you're cotton curious, this is the way to go.
Yeah, it's a good one to
it's lovely.
Yeah, it feels nice when you're knitting with it, and it's really nice. So that's that.
And you can tell it's not going to pill or fluff like some of the other cotton yarns or cotton bamboo blends I've seen. You can tell right away on the shelf that they're going to do stuff that you wouldn't like. This seems very stable.
Yeah.
It's very crisp.
It's a little bit slippery.
Okay.
So I like it when it's slippery, but there has been, this morning, in fact, my needle came right out because Ken brought the barn cat into the house. It was in my bed, which...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's really cute.
She's adorable.
Her name is Clyde.
I think she deserves to move in the house, but you do want to have like flea and check and stuff before you just take an outdoor cat and move her inside. Yeah. And she's not an outdoor cat. She sleeps in the barn at night.
Yeah, she's a barn cat. Yeah. She does a good job in the barn.
Yeah. She's lots of dead bodies.
Mice. But she's super, super friendly.
Yeah. Oh, she's a snuggle bug.
Yeah.
She's the biggest snuggle bug we've got.
Yes. Yeah.
More
she's really something.
than
anyway,
anybody.
but I didn't really want her in my bed, especially after a big rainstorm.
Because she runs right through the mud with her little paws.
She doesn't care about
the poop, and
she doesn't care.
She's a farm girl.
She was on my bed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well.
Anyway, but now you know what she's doing is that she's stopping. Our kitchen window looks out over one of the pastures, and the driveway, it goes between the pasture and the house. So she comes on the driveway and she looks into the kitchen window. And if Ken's in there, she actually puts her little paws up in the kitchen window. He opens the window and puts the screen up, and she jumps in. That just started 3 days ago.
I love it.
Yeah.
And to discourage this behavior, he gave her soft cat food.
That's right. So I don't know if we mentioned that on the podcast. If my cat,
I don't think you did.
Yeah. So Smokey Smith, my cat, who was 15 or 16 years old, passed away a couple weeks ago. And Smokey Smith was, before he went over the Rainbow Bridge, he could only eat soft food. So we had a bunch of soft food for him. And we still had that in the
so
house.
He just doesn't want it to go to waste. Is that
it?
it?
That's it. He doesn't want it to go to waste. So now Clyde is coming to the drive-through window
for her soft food.
It's like A&W.
Yeah.
Out my kitchen window for the soft food. And then somehow in 2 short days has ended up in my bed. Right.
She's a lovely cat. I've often wanted to move her in, but my dogs are not cat friendly.
Yeah, she's really sweet. But Kaylee likes cats, so
yeah,
she's fine with that. All right.
So, she's a great cat.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I have another thing.
Okay.
My stuff came from Norway.
This is fun. Oh, you've been on your Nostipin, I see.
Yes.
Good.
I haven't been on my Nostipin. I've used my Nostipin. All right.
Only Karen's going to find that funny.
There might be a few other people that understand. Stop laughing. All right. Okay, so here's the yarns. These delightful yarns. Okay. Oh, can you grab my pattern?
Oh, sure.
I'll show a picture.
Oh my God, it's 200 pages.
Yeah, I know. I got frightened.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, she's wearing a tulle skirt with it.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
You need a tulle skirt.
That's next on my list.
Yeah.
Right after the 2 short pantyhose. All right. I think there's a good picture. So this is the paisley jacket in lavender blue. And the pattern is by Thistle. I'm sorry if I'm massacring your name, Thistle. Look at the detail.
Oh.
This is like the picture of it. Yeah,
it's
nobody's going to be able to read that. But, and
God.
then you get this. So the knitting is one thing, and then you get this packet of seed beads and sequins, and then I have a funny feeling that the knitting is you're almost halfway through. After that, there's all the embellishments and everything to do. And I read the pattern just to see if I had to make any adjustments anywhere, and I frightened myself last night.
Is that a rolled up or an I-cord?
No, I think it's
rolled up.
But it's a generous one, so I think that it's...
so funny, though. I've never... Yeah, it's a rolled. Yeah. Huh, interesting.
It's a thing, I'm sure. But.
Okay. Not a thing for us, but look at how beautiful.
Yeah.
Cuffs are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know when you're going to have time to do this, but...
So, if people want to join me and get their kit and knit along with me, it's going to be a long time. It's very fine yarn.
Yeah. So why don't we float our idea, what we're thinking of maybe adding a forum to our website and doing project-based threads on our own website.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into see if we can do it. So instead of the general Ravelry project thread, which we love and we're going to keep in our Ravelry group, technically we're supposed to be blogging, but we don't have time to blog.
Yeah.
So we thought on our own site we might put a thread in a forum for each of the projects that we're doing. And then if you have project-specific questions, then we can all chat in there. It's a little bit more of a community-based thing than just sending us emails, which are kind of not as fun.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think about that idea.
Yeah, because we're getting quite a few questions through email.
And they get buried easily.
Yeah.
So for example, we would have our own little forum section on the website that you would go to through fleeceandharmony.com, and then we'd have a Hinterland thread, a Flatrock thread, a CORNWALLIS thread. I think that might be a better way to organize it.
Yeah. I think
so. I'm going to see if we can get that set up. But before I go to all that trouble, let us know in the comments what you think of the idea.
Right. And one of the reasons why I was excited about getting this project is because I wanted to try this yarn from Norway. And it's from I practiced saying it, and now it Hillsborg. Hillsborg. Yes.
Okay.
It's a very famous woolen mill in Norway.
Hillsborg.
I'm very sorry for everybody that I just, massacred the name.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's lovely yarn. I'm making a jacket. You need it to be sturdy. I don't want it to pill. I don't want it to wear out.
That is not pilling.
It's going to be a work of art. But it was really funny because we often get people writing us saying, is your yarn soft? And in the scheme of things, in the superwash, whatever, our yarn is not the softest yarn I've ever felt.
It's pretty darn soft. But it is wool. It's
wool.
For wool, it's soft.
Yeah. So 100% wool is soft. So Jennifer said when I opened this and she felt it, she goes, if anybody else asks us if our wool is soft, the answer is yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty rugged stuff. It's very fine, so it won't feel rough.
No.
Like it's a
knitted
very fine
tight
yarn.
It's knitted a tight gauge.
But I mean, it is not
rustic.
Fluffy by any sense. Like it's So I'm a little bit this is exciting, but it sounds like, are you starting it?
Yeah, I have to swatch first. But these are the colors. So there's a whole bag of yarn. So this is
Where's the bright blue?
It's that. But that's what the part, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the blue. And this is what looks like white. It's these two colors.
But where is this? This looks like a china blue. And this is a periwinkle.
Maybe I missed one.
This is a periwinkle. Doesn't look anything like.
Yeah, no, I think it's that.
Okay. Well, that doesn't look anything.
And then the brown, this brown. Maybe I left one of the colors.
Well, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This doesn't look anything like this.
That looks like this.
Yeah.
But maybe I left there might be another ball in the bag. I can see actually something.
Okay, I'm going to go look.
Okay.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Anyway, this is more, I prefer these colors actually.
I know, because you always love royal blue.
And purpley.
But it does not look like the picture.
No. But that could be I don't know. That could be.
Could be our printer.
No, she printed it and sends it to you. Okay. Yeah. So, but for sure, like the sequins and stuff are the right color to go with this.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean it's still going to be beautiful, but that doesn't look anything like the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. So I started
very exciting.
Balling the balls.
And it's cardigan. Is it knit flat in pieces?
No.
Steeked. Ah, fun.
Everything, even the armhole.
Love it.
Really, yeah. I might have to
steek. I love steeking. I miss steeking. I need something to steek.
Okay, well, you can help me with mine because I'm going to be terrified. I've done little steeks, like on the bands for the Joe Bat's arm, but this is really the day that I cut that.
Be fine. You're going to sew it with the sewing machine.
Oh, I know. I'm going to be a nervous wreck. I was frightened reading it. The pattern, and somebody wrote to me and said that the patterns are well written and very easy to follow. So I'm just going to...
steeked. You haven't lived.
Well, I did steek. 10 stitch. 14
I converted a flat cardigan into a round cardigan because I didn't want to knit it flat and did it. Remember?
Yeah. That's right. Anyway, so I'm really excited about it. And by the time it's done, it's going to be a work of art.
Definitely.
Might take as long as it
But even a little tiny bit of that is just going to be so beautiful to look at. Like, it'll be really exciting. So how do you start? Bottom up? In the round?
I don't know. I don't remember. Bottom up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I'm just wondering when we're going to get to see some of this paisley and...
Well, not for a little while. I suppose I could start with the sleeve.
Well, it's at the bottom of the sweater. You're going to see it pretty soon.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep you posted.
Of course.
We'll try to make sure that every episode is exciting.
Riveting.
I'm excited to get started.
Can you swatch the paisley?
I could.
Should do that. What about your jaunty tam? What happened to that?
Don't talk about the hit tam.
Okay. Don't talk about the tam. I would never talk about a tam. If you hadn't brought a tam into this, there'd be no tam talk.
I told you why I'm not doing it.
I have nothing to say to a tam. Okay.
My story hasn't changed.
Okay.
Okay. So
maybe I should finish the tam.
Yeah. I just hope that I'm gonna do the colors that I thought, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So
all right. Good.
All right. Are you keep looking at? Is it my hair or my eyebrows that you're looking at?
Nothing.
Okay. I thought I saw you looking. Did you ever see that episode of Seinfeld with Uncle Leo's eyebrows?
Nah, it sounds vaguely familiar, but I didn't really watch a lot of TV back then.
Oh, okay. Because I got a new eyebrow pencil. It's a little dark.
Well, maybe it's catching my eye subconsciously.
Maybe. So look up Uncle Leo's eyebrows.
Okay. I'm afraid to. Okay. Very good. All right. So shop update.
Before we do the shop update.
Yeah.
There's a big topic, a fascinating topic of conversation that happened at Knit Night.
Okay.
So I want to talk about it because it's really interesting. I had no idea, and some of you might be affected by this.
It's never happened to us.
No, it's never happened to us. So somebody had mentioned about being in a knitting workshop, and they were told that they should check their measuring tapes because measuring tapes from China have a different size inch on them than other tapes.
So then it's not an inch. Whatever is on the reverse of the centimeters.
It's not an inch.
Right.
It just looks like it's an inch.
Right.
And the giveaway is that where IN would be usually written, it's Chinese.
Symbol.
It's a Chinese symbol.
So at no point on the tape does it say it's an inch.
No.
It's not. It just happens it's on the reverse of the centimeters where the inches would typically go in a North American
and
measuring
it's marked
tape.
off like with 1, 2.
Right.
So
and
it looks like
close.
an inch.
Okay.
But it's not an inch.
Right.
So, but could be confusing if you didn't know about this. So what it is, it's called a kun. I'm not sure. Hopefully I'm not swearing in Chinese.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's CUN.
Okay.
And it's actually a unit of measurement that they use in China. And we'll put a picture up of what it looks like. And there's a little Chinese symbol that indicates that that's what it is. And the difference is between, let's call it a North American or an imperial inch, is that it's actually based on the metric system. So they didn't try to convert from some other kind of system, like the old imperial system, and then try to make it fit into the it's actually based on metric. And there's 30 kuns in a meter. So it's a nice even number. It's meant to be like that. So it's not a mistake on the measuring tapes, or it's not it's just a different measurement. And everybody was remarking about the fact that the centimeters are always right. Well, because the other side is right too.
Yeah, it's not imperial at all, and it's not an inch at all.
No.
Is what's to be clear.
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't messed around with the inch.
Yeah.
They just don't put the inch on their tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them. So it makes sense that it would have this measurement.
Far be it from the imperial system to find fault with any other measurement system. Because it makes no sense. It's not mathematically robust in any way whatsoever.
No.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that's the difference. So if you find that you have one of these tapes in your kit because you've gotten it somehow, because some of them have been shipped out to North America. I don't know if the shipping them out to North America was a mistake or what, but the tape is not. There's no mistakes on the tape. But so if there's 30 kun in a meter, it's like 33.33 inches in a meter. So that's the difference. It's slightly bigger.
So if you go through your thing and find one, let us know. And if you think you might have had some knitting debacles as a result, tell us all in the comments because that's interesting.
Yeah. So if you're measuring with
why is my sweater always 3 inches too long?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was fascinated, so I had to do the research. Right. So that's what I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I would have had no idea.
No.
So, I mean, that is super useful. Of course,
Yeah.
you would assume it was an inch.
Yes.
I really hope the workout place I buy them from doesn't ship them like that.
Yeah.
Totally misleading.
And if you don't read Chinese, you would just think, well, it was made in China, so that must be that must be the symbol for inch in China, but it's not. It's not.
Right.
It's something completely different.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna check mine because I'm like, this workout's really working. It's
Yeah.
probably...
Yeah. Anyway, it's super interesting. I had no idea. I just thought that was a really good lesson in the stuff you don't know about.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really, really curious to see if anyone watching
Yeah.
can find one in their thing that they did not realize was not actually inches.
Yeah.
And let us know.
Yeah.
It'd be fascinating.
So all kinds of fun could ensue from,
I mean, see what you're missing if you're not coming to virtual midnight. And this is the kind of cutting edge, gritty topics we get to the bottom of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heartbreaking news. It's not an inch.
Right. It's not an inch at all. Okay.
All right. So I just thought that was fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Yes. So shop update.
All right.
What's happening with Rowan?
Rowan. Got new Kid Silk Haze colors.
Yeah.
Got them listed, I think. We're
Yeah.
redoing the Rowan section of the website. It's already better.
Yes.
We now have
Our apologies to anybody that tried to
brand, like the base is listed under a little Rowan subtitle.
Right.
And we're going to continue to work on that. We were supplied much better photography from Rowan. I'm working on upgrading all the photos and stuff. So it'll be a really nice section soon. But we got 3 new colors.
Yeah.
And this is called, what's this one again?
I can't remember.
Oh, we can't remember. I know this is Romance.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was suggesting this to somebody, but now is it Tranquility? Serenity or something?
Yeah.
And then a brown one.
Yeah. I think it's Serenity.
Okay. And they go by numbers, so
Yeah.
they don't list.
Yeah, they
this
don't put
is 686, just in case.
Yeah.
677. I can't believe I can read these without my glasses.
Yeah, me neither.
And 681 is definitely Romance, because we got that for a client.
Yeah.
Brought it in.
So, and we just had another request today, somebody that wants one, and I'm placing a Rowan order usually every week, and at the very outside, every 2 weeks, and they're super quick to ship.
Yeah.
Usually, if they have everything in
coming.
stock. Yeah, if they have everything in stock, they're really super quick to ship.
Yeah.
So, right.
So do not hesitate.
It's another case of somebody that needs an extra ball to finish her project. Yeah. So if that happens to you and you want us to order something, then also give me the dye lot.
Yeah, because we even got the right dye lot for somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So we would be happy to do that.
More than happy to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if we create the forum, we can create a special area for like special requests and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really liking this idea.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay. Okay.
So that's that.
All right. And then I just want to show 2 new colors of locally made pom-poms. Mm-hmm. So I'll put these up. Black and white.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, we carry pom-poms. We also have them in a brown and a lovely gray, which I forgot to bring over.
A silvery gray.
These are made by a neighbor of ours, Emily.
Yeah.
And I think the white one's pretty cute.
Yeah.
And we've had them in the shop, but of course there's no one in the shop. So now I'm going to put them online because they've just been sitting here being neglected, and they're lovely.
Yeah, they're good. And they have the snap on the bottom. That's important.
So you can remove it to wash.
Yeah, so you sew one part of the snap on your hat or whatever you're putting the pom-pom on, and then you just snap the pom-pom off.
Right. And they're
pretty
very stiff, so I'm not going to try to get them apart to show you because I will definitely rip off a nail.
Yeah.
Because my nails are not that strong.
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. And then we got a tremendous response to the bamboo Chiagu needles. The kits.
Yes. Seems like I'm doing an order for
Chiagu Weekly
every week.
Is there like a buyer position or something that we're not... You know, they have buyers in department stores. We need one of those. Somebody who actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah, it's me.
Save a fortune on shipping.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to get the spin cables individually now.
They're on their way.
Because there's so many people using them, and we said the red ones do work.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the clear.
Yeah. It's more harmonious with the wood.
Unfortunately, the clear just matches the wood better. That's what it really comes down to. That's just how we are.
It's important.
Yeah. Oh, we want to know if there are favorite knitting books or magazines that you would like to see us carry that we don't.
Yes.
So there's like, there's like the interpretations ones. Mm-hmm. There's the Mason-Dixon knitting ones. We don't carry any of those.
No.
We're pretty picky. Like, we only kind of pick books that we would normally read.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we order everything.
Yeah.
But if we're missing something and you're like, oh, why don't they get this? Like, I mean, the 52 weeks of socks, of course, gorgeous. Anything like that you know of that we don't know of, drop us a line.
Yeah,
put it
high
in the
quality, with good content and stuff.
Because we're more than happy. Like, it's a very small collection at the moment. And, of course, we'll be getting all the Rowan magazines and probably a few of the Rowan supported other publications like Kimber Graves and
we
stuff
actually
like that.
ordered, I ordered Mode, the collection #1.
Right.
And I ordered that one instead of the summer one because there is a newer one that's out. #2 is already out and it has the summer. But I thought we had summer covered between
the Hayes book. Is beautiful.
The Hayes book and the magazine 67. Yeah. But the collection one was the one for fall and winter
last year,
which, still. So I decided to buy that one because there's some really cute accessories and things in it that before the next fall and winter one comes out, there's going to be a bit of space because they're a little bit delayed apparently with the publication of that. So I wanted to have something that if people want to start thinking about their fall projects, that they would have a nice book. And there's some really nice patterns in that one too. So
in an unusual type of shop update, because of course our employees aren't here, there's a couple things people have been asking about that we just do not have time to do.
Yeah.
Or aren't a priority when we're so short-staffed. Kits, mitten kits, neon sock kit, those things are all going to be going up a little bit sporadically because it is extra labor to put those things together. People have asked about the clothespins. Sandra, the lovely woman who was making the clothespins that we interviewed in an episode last summer, has decided to stop making clothespins.
Or she's reducing.
Or she's just maybe selling them at the farmer's market. So we're not able to get those anymore. Yeah. So that's it for clothespins. And people are asking about flock fingering.
Yes.
The yarn. So we can really only make that when we have the fleeces to make it with. So we don't actually know when that's coming up.
Ken's got some in a bin right now.
Okay, well, we'll try it.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it's going to turn out.
Yeah. So we need kind of a long staple length, but it can't be too long.
Yeah.
So Ken is sorting out fleeces for that. So we don't have enough to make a batch, but he's got a couple fleeces that he's got put aside. So when we can make it, we'll let everybody know.
But I will link below because I have some gloaming, a first light, and a dawning sitting here in the shop that people may not realize is there because we don't really list it on the side menu because we don't make it very often.
Yeah.
So I'll relink to flock fingering down below. There are a couple odds and ends that are available for purchase. If they're the gloaming is if you're more of an orangey brown kind of person. It usually doesn't sell as well as the other end of the spectrum, the blue purple with the twilight, which is our most popular color. But if you've missed that in previous episodes when I've mentioned it, we do have a few in stock over there.
Right. And for those that don't know, the flock fingering is 100% wool, 380 yards for 114 grams. So it's the same weight as a sock yarn, but 100% wool. No mohair.
Yeah. So some people are allergic to mohair and things. So it's like a fingering weight yarn that we wanted to make, but the mohair is what helps make it really easily spinnable.
Yeah.
And if we don't have that, we have to wait for a particular fleece. So that's a flock fingering. I own a bunny. I would expect we'll be making again fairly soon because those bunnies are looking awfully large out in the barn.
Yeah.
I think Mabel's molting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has some dreads coming off.
Oh, okay. That's not good.
Well, she's molting.
Yeah.
I think she'll brush out real easy. We'll get a lot out of her.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got asked about A Night with Stars, which we said we were going to keep making, but we have not been able to get the silk noils.
Yeah.
So, there are, of course, business challenges with things that come perhaps from China. And on that front, still waiting for the elastic thread to go in my bikini. It's been weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's where that's coming from. Because it has not appeared yet. And there's like a division on who thinks that that's actually going to help hold the bikini up and who doesn't.
It's a big debate.
We're going to see.
Yeah.
So that's that. Because I'm actually excited to work with the Summerlight DK.
Yeah.
And learn to crochet. But I'm waiting for this elastic thread. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
It's going to hold the whole thing together.
You hope.
I hope.
But it'll make a great story if it doesn't.
Well, it'll just be the few people attending the Costa Rica retreat that'll know.
No, it won't.
All right.
I'll be there.
Okay. I've seen your camera skills. Usually when she's trying to turn the video on, she's turning it off. And when she thinks she's turning it off, she's turning it on.
That
so you get the exact opposite of what you're trying to film.
It makes it more interesting.
We tried that with horse riding videos before. Okay. Right. Very good.
All right. So Ask Us Anything has been kind of hit and miss because some of the questions I'm answering like in personal messages because they didn't have like it was kind of specific, the questions, and then I missed a couple and we had to catch up. Anyway, we've got a few this episode to talk about. The first one is how would you say what's her Ravelry name? Lilliput? Lilliput? Yeah. Okay. Wants to us to explain negative and positive ease built into patterns. It's a very good question.
Oh, yeah.
So, because it's not always easy to figure out what they mean.
Yeah, it's not easy at all.
Yeah. So, and especially if it's not so bad with newer patterns, but if you're going back and looking at older patterns, it's even more challenging. So, because they say your bust size fits a bust such and such a size. So to give an example, I'll use myself as an example. So my bust is 41 inches. So I always try to knit to fit a bust 41 inches. And I don't like a lot of positive ease, but I don't want it like skin tight either because my bust is 41 inches, but then around my middle is a little, not proportionally small, like an hourglass figure by any stretch of the imagination. So I need to be a little bit careful. You need to check your schematic and your bust size.
So in the schematic will be the actual finished fabric size.
Exactly.
Versus fits a bust in their interpretation of how you want your bust fitted.
Right.
Okay.
So, and if you want a sweater, let's say, because this is usually what we're talking about, that is just kind of hugs your body, then you would knit it to be the measurement that's actually your bust size, because we're usually talking about the bust area. If you want it to be so it stretches over and it like is a little bit tighter fitting, then you're going to do a negative ease. So for me, if that was a 41, I would do a 40 or a 39, and then I would have something that's going to be like really fit it to my body. If you want positive ease, because you want to have it look relaxed in a spot, like on my middle, I don't want something that has negative ease going across my middle. So then an inch or two makes a big difference. But then if you want something slouchy and relaxed and sweatshirty kind of look, then you might have 4 inches of positive ease. So that's how you decide, and you can change the ease that you're getting on your pattern to suit whatever style that you want, just by, if you know that and you look at your schematic and you see the measurement of what the fabric is going to turn out to be, and of course you've done your swatch and measured it so you know exactly what's going to happen, then you can decide if you want positive or negative ease.
So don't just look at the sizing. Look at the schematic.
That's right.
And then you can take that and put the tape around you and be like, well, the schematic says 38. About how big does that look? Or you can measure another sweater that you think is a similar size or one that you'd like it to fit similar to.
Yeah.
Measure that flat, like as the schematic is shown measured, and then stick to that.
Yeah.
Because it's the designer's interpretation of how loose they want it, what they put on the model, and what they did, if they're just saying fits a 41.
Yeah.
Well, it might fit a 41 the way you like it, but not a 41 the way another 41 likes it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you and Dolly Parton, for example, are going to choose a different amount of ease in the same sweater.
Don't get carried away.
No, but I just came to mind. Because she's super tiny.
Yeah.
Underneath.
And likes her stuff tight.
And she likes her stuff tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love Dolly.
Yeah, we're big fans of Dolly. So, yeah. But I don't like it to look too loose on top, because then it looks a lot bigger. And I as big as my shoulders are and stuff on the upper part, I'm a bit of an upside down triangle. So my hips and that are quite slim. So I don't want, if it just looks like a big bag on me, I need to work with that stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And really, if you just sit down and think about it and you look at the schematic, then it's really easy to figure out. The problem is that a lot of the older patterns don't have really good schematics.
I think some patterns, new ones, don't necessarily have good
exactly. You need a lot of information to make the decision properly.
can't tell that probably before you purchase on Ravelry how detailed the schematic is going to be either.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, a lot of people probably just ignore the schematic and don't do that.
I never used to look at the schematic, but you should look at the schematic.
I mean, several times I think I've even mentioned on here I've knit things and I'm like, I should have looked at the schematic because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it can prevent a lot of issues.
Yes.
And the more detailed that the designer makes it, the better.
Right. And if you really want to do a deep dive on this, there was I in fact watched a segment of it last night because for my jacket, I want to make sure that I have the right fit that I want on that. So there's a really good course on Blueprint. Can't remember the name of the exactly what the title is of the video, but it's by Shirley Padden. And it's for pattern designing. So it's not meant for for knitting this per se, but it's for people that want to design patterns and they want to understand how all the measurements and everything works. And so she goes through a really detailed part of it on how to measure yourself. And part of the course materials in that course are the body and all the, like there's 18 or 19 different measurements that a dressmaker would do if they were making a custom outfit for you. And she goes through all of them. And some of them are not what you assume that they are.
And also, depending on your body, like where your kind of quirks are, one might be really important to you that's not really important to another person.
Right.
Like where your sticking point is and fitting your body could be different. It might be your upper arm is a little bit different from the average person. Or in our case, you know, it's our shoulders. Or we have weird, like we're definitely not hourglass. We're, you know, pretty straight from the waist down, like here. So it's important, like the more measurements, the better.
Mm-hmm. And she gives you a lot of really good tips on how to do the proper measurements and you know, I had Ken help me last night with the measurement that I was doing. So I was looking it up for this, for the Paisley jacket, but I also wanted to double check for the raglan sleeve on my Cornwallis because you and I talked about that last night. And I asked him, there is a raglan measurement, and I asked Ken to measure it for me, and it didn't seem right the way that he measured it, even though he measured it exactly how I told him how to measure it. So I went back in my videos and I went and looked to see, and I had not remembered it correctly the way that it's supposed to be measured. So you know, it's a really good resource if you're into that, like if you want.
And is ease covered in the Cocoa Knit Sweater Method book?
Her schematic is really good, I think.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it is. I don't know if she specifically talks about. I don't really remember, to be honest.
Okay.
But there's enough information there, though, that you. I mean, almost everything I'm doing in fitting, I learned from that workbook. So.
And I know Tin Can Knits has a blog post about ease as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So that explains it quite well.
Yeah. So now with this the Paisley jacket, I actually ran into that issue because it's a cardigan and it says fits bust or bust measurement. So it's clear that she's talking about the bust measurement. I looked at the schematic, but it says that it tells you what the measurement of the fabric is plus bands. So now I don't know. Okay, so she's talking about the button band, but I don't know how wide the button band is. So that means that if I want it to be like touching my body, not baggy, but not too tight, do I have an inch more? Or
so can you look at the button band instructions and see?
It's 4 rows. So I'll have to do have to do my swatch and figure it now. Then I'll figure out how.
Right.
But before I cast on the sweater, I'm going to need to know how wide the button band is.
Yeah, tricky.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a really good question because it's not straightforward. So
4 rows is a pretty narrow button band.
That gauge. So I just don't know if I'm missing something. So I'm going to look at it more closely, but
to read through the 60-page pattern to make
it's
sure.
It actually is not that. She did it on very
thick paper.
Nice thick paper.
Okay.
So
it's only like 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Felt very thick when I picked it up. Well, also very heavy because the sequins are attached to it. Okay.
Just all those sequins. Okay. Yeah. So that's a really good question.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully we didn't confuse you and answered.
Well, no. You got to really be careful.
Yeah, you just look. Yeah, and a lot of the time, I won't say most, a lot of the time you have the information you need. You just need to know how to interpret what it is that they're trying to say. Okay, so Nukes524 wrote this question. We know that's you, Elizabeth, so hi.
Wow.
She came to knit night.
Okay.
And she wants to know what the difference is between the Fleece and Harmony Aran and the worsted yarn. And I did answer her, but I thought it was actually a good question as well about what the different weights are. And the context of why she asked is that she wanted to search on Ravelry in Aran and worsted and find a pattern and to see if she could make adjustments, I think. Or she did buy some Aran and some worsted, so I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, she wanted to know what the difference is. So other than the weight, which is in the specs, the way that we make the Aran and the worsted is exactly the same. So we spin the Aran and the worsted yarn at roughly the same weight. The plies, the individual plies, are roughly the same weight. And Aran is a 3-ply yarn, so you've got 3 strands of yarn to make up the yarn. Three strands, three plies to make up the yarn. And for worsted, you have 2. So the worsted is roughly 2/3 of the circumference, if you want, of the Aran. We've gone a little bit finer with the worsted lately because we just find that it makes a nicer yarn. So it's not exactly that, but that's kind of the difference. So just to be clear for people that don't know, aren't familiar with the yarn, the Aran weight is 150 yards for 100 grams, and the worsted weight is 200 yards for 80 grams. So the math is not exactly like I said; it's a little bit finer, but that's difference. All right.
And our Aran's pretty thick. So I find with people trying to adapt, the worsted seems to be the way to go.
Yeah.
You could kind of go either way with it, needle size wise, where our Aran is getting pretty thick.
Yeah.
And then we have our Belfast Bulky, which is like a super bulky alpaca
Cushy.
blend.
Yeah.
Super
so
squishy.
That's right. It's not that easy to find patterns that are easily substituted for the Aran.
Yeah.
It worked really well in the Coco Knits sweater though,
Right.
because she has a bulkier Aran. And our Aran worked really well in the Carbeth because she, in that pattern, she's holding 2 strands of a DK together.
Yeah.
So for patterns like that, you just have to look at the gauge. So the Aran gauge on 5.5 millimeter needles is somewhere around 12 to 14. And the worsted is... for this, I actually got a 20 stitches on a 3.5 millimeter needle.
I think the thing with the Aran is too, where it's really round, it's a 3-ply, you probably can get gauge with it.
Yeah.
But when you squeeze that into a smaller gauge, you get a fabric that is like really thick.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
It's not really...
it's not my favorite to adapt.
Yeah.
I think the worsted is a lot more forgiving in terms of adjusting to a pattern that doesn't actually call for our yarn. If you try to go down a needle size in our Aran, you end up with my flax, which I call my suit of armor.
Yeah.
It's
Super
incredibly warm. It's very thick and tight. I think I knit that with a 3.75, which I would never do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's, I mean, I like it for what it is. It's a really thick sweater for a very cold day, and you feel like wrapped up in a blanket in it. But I mean, for most people, it's pretty dense.
Yeah.
It gets dense quickly.
Yeah. And even this, I wasn't quite on gauge with this, but I liked the fabric that it was.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of a good traditional sweater weight, the SELKIRK worsted.
Yeah.
The Aran, unless it's a project that really specifies that, and even the Carbeth is more of a jackety kind of style.
Yeah. Well,
so
I
you
did
don't
the
mind
tunic.
the thickness on
and
it.
I did the tunic, so it was,
pretty thick still though. And then you added silk mohair.
Yeah.
You could wear that in a winter storm.
I loved it. It's really nice. It's a nice sweater. So so that's that. Okay, that was a good question too. And Kim Sixerly, Kimberly wanted. That's not a typo. That's how her Ravelry name.
Well, she's very clever because she turned the bee. Somebody probably already had it with a bee.
Oh, okay.
So she's got a bee figure.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Very clever, Kimberly.
Yeah. More clever than this Kimberly.
It's probably your license plate too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wanted to know when the skunk episode was. So if you haven't had enough of our animal stories, there's a skunk episode, and that is episode 18.
Which was a funny one.
Yeah, apparently her husband
Wants to know?
Needs to see that one.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that the husbands are watching.
Yeah,
I
so-
find that so funny.
Yeah.
A few husbands walked through the living room during the bird poop story and had a good laugh, or various other things
Apparently.
we've been up to.
Yes.
It's quite funny.
Yeah, so that was, that skunk episode was episode number 18.
Couple other follow-ups from last episode. One, yes, the lamb I was trying to save, I did get it breathing.
Right.
Did not reduce the amount of anger I felt about getting shut on or getting the bird poop in my
I was
ear.
going to start the introduction with this saying that, okay, everybody's safe. There's no discussions about poop.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway,
Never
there's
safe.
never
Just
an
let me
episode.
say, yes, I did get the lamb going.
Yes.
I don't really lose very many at that neonatal stage.
No.
Yeah, it's later when they get out in the world, like sort of Penelope, and they're just hit with a barrage of environmental factors and things like that. But in terms of resuscitation,
Yeah.
I have a very good record.
Yes.
And I won't get into some of the things I've done to save lambs, because with all the talk about zoonotic diseases, I shouldn't do some of the things that I've done in the past and have been warned repeatedly by our very intelligent vets not to do some of the things I've done.
resuscitation.
I know, but it does just go to show you, like, if you had told me working in my, like the 45th floor of Scotia Plaza in Toronto, that I would ever put my lips around a lamb's mouth that had just come out of an amniotic sac and might also have meconium on it, and that I would give that thing mouth to mouth, I will tell you, I would have said you were out of your mind. But when you're there trying to save something, you really don't care.
Yeah.
And I have done that.
And the adrenaline is rushing. And,
I have done that. Well, it's a life.
Yeah.
So, that's the type of thing that farmers do.
Yeah.
To try to save their animals and to do right by them. And I would do it again if I could get away with it. But it's actually, you shouldn't do that. But I have done it. And I would never, ever think that would be something that I would be able to stop.
Or you wouldn't recommend it, but...
No, and you shouldn't do it. But I have done it. And it doesn't bother me at all as long as I succeed. So yes, the lamb made it.
Yeah.
And I've also made my ex-husband do it. But it's just when you're there and something needs help, you help it. Doesn't matter what's on it, but you don't need to be that germophobic and fussy, because some of the things I've done to save lambs.
I think people would be surprised to know that operations occur in the barn. Yeah. Like cesarean sections and not in our, we haven't had
they
any
don't rush
cases.
them to the sterile operating room in an ambulance from your barn.
It's really kind of highlights, how careful we've become, and I'm, notwithstanding what's happening right now, which, yes,
that's a whole other subject.
It's a whole other subject. But in general, if an animal is relatively healthy and, other things and I'm not advocating that we,
not for humans, no, but when you're trying to give something the best chance, it's no guarantee.
And there's been situations where we've said, okay, should we do this? And it's, well, if you don't try to do it, they're going to die. Yeah. So you do what you have to do. Yeah. And sometimes
you kind of succeed a surprising amount, I think is what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be surprised what an otherwise healthy animal, with antibiotic support, of course. Because if you open something up or stick your hands in it or do whatever you need to do to get something accomplished in a barn environment, yes, we have to follow that up with antibiotics, but...
anyway, you're more, or animals are more robust. That you're thinking we're not advocating that you don't need sterile circumstances, but we've had some pretty.
It's not the be all end all. It's no guarantee.
And if they're going to die because they need help, then you take your chance. Yeah, it's the Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So the other thing is, we had talked about our grandmother wearing her bikini until age 70 or whatever, and my mother was not able to find a photo fast enough to include it in last week's episode, even though I did ask her, a full half an hour before I needed it.
And she's got 10,000 photographs to look at.
But
which, by the way, she's been down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're wondering if any of you are following us and anything, and you're wondering where all these pictures are coming, now my mother is on a mission to look at every photograph that's ever been taken in our family since 1956.
Yeah. Since anyone got their first camera. So we're just going to show a couple pictures of our nanny, because I have one of us on a trip to Florida. I was in grade 10 and she was 66, so here we are. I'm 15 and she's 66, rocking the two-piece. None of this tankini stuff. She's right in the bikini.
You don't have a bikini on.
I don't have a bikini on. No, and I think it's funny how different I look. I look like a kid. Like I have a little, I don't want to say I have baby fat. I obviously wasn't big, but my legs look fuller back then. If you look at it.
I don't know, I'll have to take a closer look.
Anyway, it's a cute trip we went on together. And then this one here of her just walking on the beach, which is how we always picture our grandmother. She loved the ocean and seagulls and all that stuff. I think I explained last time. So, or maybe I just put it on Instagram. She had seagulls all over her house. She was raised on the beach.
Paintings of seagulls.
Right? She grew up on the shore.
Yeah.
So always outside in the sand whenever she got a chance. And they used to go south a lot and enjoy the beaches down there. So.
And then we can show a picture of me in my bikini.
Oh, yes. This is the best. I almost forgot. I knew there was something else because, boy, those were the days. Like, how old would you be in this photo? We'll show it now. How old would you be? 3? I don't think you're 3. I think you might be 2. Bodie's 2, and he was just doing the intro to Risky Business.
All right.
So I think Bodie's our great nephew. And just throw the kid out there without sunscreen and let it get a tan.
That's what to say what you actually said to me.
What did I say?
Looking like a big piece of bacon fat.
Just put a bikini on the child and lay it out in the sun. Wow. Can you imagine?
Today you'd get arrested.
I know. Well, how did you not burn to a crisp?
I don't know. So
anyway,
I wear a lot of sunscreen.
You did not have sunscreen on in this photo.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I don't know. Like, that would be 1966. I don't think people were even using... Copper tone was it. No, SPF. I don't know if it had even been invented.
So... And you did wear bikinis later in life at one time, but this was your first bikini.
My very first one.
Yeah. So, wow. Just amazing, like on the parenting front.
What I think is so hilarious about that picture is my legs up across
there. I know.
Just
hilarious.
I think
the whole thing is hilarious. Well, I don't think you were really thinking much, too. It's just a natural grace that you had.
Yeah. Is that your tongue stuck in your cheek?
Anyway. Something else.
Yeah. It's amazing we even survived.
I'm thinking that looks like that would crisp up in about 10 minutes. I don't...
Well, after it did. So, I don't know, like, not after that picture was taken, but I mean, by the time I was a teenager, I was wearing sunscreen all the time, and I literally would fry in 5 minutes. So, I don't know how we survived, but you know, playing on monkey bars and things in playgrounds on
I know, well, to be sure, there were plenty of injuries, but, I mean, that just boggled my mind. It's kind of like when we were talking about, what were we talking about where there was a movie for children and they were smoking in it? What was that?
I just watched Forrest Gump and the bus driver, what's her name? Dorothy.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a cigarette. She's got a cigarette hanging out of her mouth.
I was watching an actual child's movie and or a show that was for kids and there was smoking in it.
Yeah.
Like a full-on kids show. I can't remember what it was.
Well, it's all changed. Like
what you don't know. It kind of makes you wonder, like, what we're doing now that they'll look at in 40 years and be like, were you out of your mind?
Yeah.
There must be something.
I don't know.
You seem pretty safe now. What could it be?
You know, we're so uptight now. With everything. I don't know. We're not even allowed to breathe without.
I don't know what it could be, but there was something.
Anyway, that's it is pretty funny how things have changed.
Imagine throwing your baby out to take. All right. She looks pale. Throw out in the sun.
You'd have a hat.
Oh, they're all under umbrellas. Forget the hat. Yeah. And slathered in sunscreen. Yeah, of course.
So, but I do think there's global warming as well. So
yeah, sure, the ozone layer is a bit thinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely, it's different.
So
that's true.
Speaking of watching things, so I watched Forrest Gump. Okay. You came over to my place and got to see. She said, "What is going on?" I said, "Forrest Gump. I just watched Forrest Gump." Yeah, I've seen it 100 times. But you know what's super interesting that I'm watching right now is I'm going through all of the PBS American Experience shows. Have you ever watched that?
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of it?
No.
Oh.
Has everybody heard of it? I haven't heard of it.
They're really good.
Okay.
So kind of has nothing to do with this, but kind of on the scale of like the nature of things from the CBC, how they're all really interesting and well done. Like the production value is really high. And they covered all kinds of things. So I got onto them. I used to watch them a long time ago, and then I got onto them because they did a couple documentaries about the influenza of 1918 because I wanted to see exactly what happened that. And they had one. We talked about this in previous episodes of the podcast, so I thought it was funny. The Irish in America. So they talk about all of the immigration, which was absolutely horrific, by the way, of how they were literally like just starving to death in Ireland and the potato famine and everything. It's really well done, but horrific. And they were talking about how important the wakes were. And, yeah, so when we were talking about the wakes and where that came from and whatever, the Irish, that was a big part of their community building and everything. And there was an old guy that was telling stories. Sometimes he said the wakes were so good we had to delay the funeral.
Wow. Priorities. Okay.
Anyway, so come by it honestly.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, well, there's still no wakes happening.
No,
that's for sure. Okay, so now we have Fiber Festival update. No update.
Yeah,
think we'll have an update by next week.
Yes, we will have. Okay, I think so.
I think we'll have an update by next week.
Making more and more announcements.
Yeah,
and stuff,
further into the future, kind of like getting the feel of what the fall is going to be like as well. Because we'd only been talking to summer up till now, which is September 21st. It ends.
Yeah, but they've
really festival was 4 days later.
Yeah, and they've canceled festivals that are in July so far, and the very first week of August. Okay, so all of those things have been canceled.
Okay,
so then we're supposed to hear something more. People that are involved with like shops and tourism and stuff like that are supposed to know more.
Working on it. Yeah. All right. We always like to add at the end how you can support us and help us grow our business and grow our community. So number one, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button.
And then you need to subscribe to get the notifications for Virtual Knit Night.
No, that's the newsletter.
Oh.
Subscribe to the newsletter. That's in the show notes. So I've actually gotten a lot of questions lately about where do I find this that you've mentioned, or I want information about that. There's a description box. So if you scroll, or if you hit the down arrow underneath this video, a whole text box will open up, and I always link to everything we mention in there. So we're not trying to be extra challenging by not explaining where to find things, but they're in the show notes. Yeah. So you don't have to go to our website and hunt around. Yeah. Everything we talk about, I try to link to in the show notes, or some people call it the description box. There's a little arrow you hit to make that drop down, and then all the information is in there.
Is that available on any method you would be?
Yes, it works on mobile
TV?
Too. Oh, not on TV. No.
No. Okay. But if you're on your computer and on mobile, but not on the TV.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so
of any
either.
TV that would do that. Yeah. You need a TV with a mouse.
Well, you can scroll down.
I don't think you can get it on the TV.
Yeah. Well, if you have or Apple TV, you can scroll around and stuff. Okay. But I'll have to check.
Okay. Anyway, there's a description box you can go on your computer and link through directly to things. And sometimes it's definitely not visible on the site on purpose because we're trying to keep it as an exclusive for people who watch our podcast. So sometimes it is intentional, but also it's just much quicker to go into the description box and link through to what you're looking for. And the other thing is you can join our Ravelry group.
Mm-hmm.
And the comments that everybody's making, first of all, we love. And they're totally working to help us grow our channel. So please, on top of all the things I mentioned that would be good feedback that we want to receive about this episode, about the forum and other things like that in the books, please consider leaving a comment, because it really helps our channel grow, and it's picked up the pace quite a bit since everybody's been so helpful commenting.
That's right.
And now people are answering each other, which is cute too.
Yeah. They're always really, there's some
the comments
really
are great.
Yeah.
Like, it's a chance for us to get to know you a little bit better, because we're sharing stories and stuff, and some of them they could be guests on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I'm particularly interested in this. You know, I love books.
Right.
So I'm particularly interested in that.
Right.
Like the good knitting books that are...
What are you looking for these days? Mm-hmm. What do you like? Oh, I wish they had this, or wish they carried these, or, we'll try to find a way to source it.
Yeah.
If we think it's something that fits with what we're doing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Good.
So I think that's the end.
Yeah, so that's a bee episode, but
there's no more bees after this.
Okay.
We're just I'm gonna renumber them, and I don't know what we're probably gonna be next time, 46 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
Good week.
Okay. Bye.